God hengo wada dine oh Daniel oh wada dine hengo da
ya waleta matam sanga yabo.
This is the voice of the Patriot, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, it will only be on one condition. That is why we keep saying that yes, this is the voice of the truth. We only criticize to build and not to destroy. My brother, my sister, today we have a number of issues to look at, and we want to go straight up into our daily editorial. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is very interesting. My brother, my sister, and I need you to come along. My brother, my sister, the very first story we are taking today is coming from Ghana Web, and it says no bed syndrome is unacceptable. No bed syndrome is unacceptable. And this is Kennedy Agyapong speaking. And I read, a former member of parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Agyapong, has called for urgent national action to address the present no bed syndrome in the country, warning that critically ill patients could not be turned away, should not be turned away because beds are unavailable. In a post shared on his Facebook page on March 25, that's today, 2026, he reflected on his past efforts to support the health sector while stressing the need for stakeholders to address the issue. As a country, we must begin to speak more honestly about the painful reality confronting our healthcare system. Now, the persistent no bed syndrome is a disaster. It is unacceptable that in this day and age, a Ghanaian in critical condition can be turned away from a hospital simply because there is no bed available. Over the years, I've made it a personal responsibility to contribute in my own way to easing this burden. At the Komfo Anoche Teaching Hospital, I supported the oncology department with 145,000 American dollars cash and about 200 patient beds to improve emergency and inpatient care. At the Old Teaching Hospital, Agogo Hospital, in the Ashanti Region, Tamale Teaching Hospital, Asin, Fosu Roman Catholic Hospital, and many more, I donated beds, wheelchairs, and essential medical consumables to enhance patient care and comfort, he stated. His comments come in the wake of a viral video which surfaced on March 20, 2025, showing patients being treated on the floor at the Accident and Emergency A&E Center of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Yes, we all saw the video. The video came out and it broke the hearts of many. At the A&E Center, Accident and Emergency, patients were lying on the floor and being treated on the floor in the 21st century. My brother, the country that is so touted for its economic boom, good governance, it is an eyesore to see patients lying on the floor, being treated right there on the dirty floors of the hospital. My brother, my sister, it looks like in our hospitals you go in with one sickness and you succeed in curing that sickness only to return home with 10 more. 10 different ones. True? It hurts. Kennedy Agyapong said he's done his very best. He gave 145,000 American dollars cash To some hospitals in Ghana, he gave wheelchairs and beds. It is sad that a critically ill patient goes to a hospital, and the thing is that, sorry, we cannot have you because there are no beds. It sounds like 6 million years ago. In these present times, it is a crime against humanity for any hospital to have to send people away because they have no beds. I can understand that some patients could come who are not critically ill. And it is said that, you know what? We are choked with patients right now. For that matter, we are putting you in an ambulance to the next hospital. That I can understand. Because no hospital has unlimited space. Any hospital can be inundated with patients depending on what is happening. If there are wars around, some hospitals that are close to the war zones could be inundated with patients. In that case, I do understand how patients can be relocated to other hospitals. There could be some natural disasters in an area that can have the hospitals in close proximity to these epicenters of disasters, inundated with patients. Floods can happen, a volcanic eruption can happen, earthquakes, tsunamis, and so on and so forth. I can understand in this case why the hospital can be inundated and therefore might not have space and people have to be relocated to other hospitals. But in this age and time, you get up and go to a hospital and they tell you there are no beds. Doctors who are supposed to be in these public service hospitals are opening their own private hospitals. And some of them are still practicing in the public hospitals. And when they go there, they are just taking a walk in the park. And they know it. They give all their best to their private hospitals so that the dossier can be built beautifully. When they go to the public hospitals, some of them even tell patients to relocate to their private hospitals. True or false? My brother, my sister, this is not just conflict of interest. It is also a crime against humanity. I have seen and heard doctors tell patients in government hospitals, this is your sickness, if you stay here, you die. Come to this other hospital. My brother, my sister, and it is not entirely true. It's just that it's realized that there's a wealthy patient in there. And he will play on the ignorance of this wealthy patient to lure him to his own private hospital where he can milk this person properly. They talk down on the public hospital so that they will direct traffic to their private hospitals. I do understand a doctor genuinely telling a patient, you know what? The facilities we need to treat you in this hospital are not there. If you can, relocate to this hospital or that hospital. It's going to cost you a bit more, but that will save your situation. I understand that. It's just a referral. But where some people intentionally divert traffic towards their personal interest, and the word there is personal, it's crazy. My brother, if public hospitals are failing, private hospitals have no business erupting. I'm telling you. Look at what is happening with our government schools. Everybody wants to go to a private school if they can afford. What is the problem? Because in the private schools, the teachers are made to do their work. That's the difference. In the public school, supervision is very weak and poor. The private schools are not doing anything extraordinary except to make sure that teachers do their work. That teachers do the work that they are supposed to do at Saito. And they refuse to do the work. In this case, supervisors make sure that they do the work. If a teacher in a government school is supposed to teach for 1 hour and he decides to sleep for 59 minutes and work for 1 minute, the same teacher going to teach in a private school would have a supervisor tell him, you are here to work for 1 hour, 60 minutes. And they would open their eyes and make sure this is achieved. That is absolutely the difference. We cheat government thinking that it is just government. But we are killing our own. My brother, taking your children to private schools and private hospitals is foolishness. And I'm going to prove to you in a bit. Let's say the whole of Ghana has 20 people. And you have 1 child. Let's even say 2 children. And then you take them to the private school. They do their work very well. They come out extremely brilliant. Okay? The 18 others go to government schools. They come out not just as brilliant, but they are okay. This is just an assumption. My brother, my sister, let's assume that out of the ignorance that they graduate in, they start to work with the ignorance. Your 2 children who are the best of education will bear the brunt of the ignorance. Will somebody understand this? Let me break it down better. Imagine you were taking all the 20 to a driving school. You take 18 to the government driving school. That does not train them properly. And the 2 that you have, they go to the best driving school. When they come out and they are driving on the street, are they safe? They all operate in the same system. The 18 drivers will cause the accident and kill the 2 that you think you have given the best. For that matter, instead of looking for the best because you are privileged, think about those that will come and smear you with the debt from the other side. I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but my brother, my sister, it is what it is. Don't let us be selfish. Let us insist to have quality for all. It's like a farmer. Recently, there was a cocoa farmer who decided to spray all the farms around his farm before going to spray his own farm. And many people were like, this man, is he a philanthropist or what? And he explained to them, you know what? When I spray my farm alone and kill all the diseases that affect my farm, those other farms around me continue to have these diseases. And time after time, depending on the frequency with which I spray my farm, my products can also be infested. It's like you treat people of a certain disease that is contagious and leave the rest around you. They will reinfest you. So what do? You treat everybody that you interact with. That is why if you go to the hospital with gonorrhea and they ask you, Ewenam, how come you have this gonorrhea? You say, oh, Dominic gave it to me, you know. Dominic gave it to me. They won't treat you alone. They will ask you to go and bring Dominic. If it's Kwame, they will ask you to go and bring Kwame. If it's Kweku, they would ask you to bring Kweku. Why? Because if they treat you alone, you will go back and Dominic would infest you again. Kweku would infest you again. And you will keep coming to the doctor day in and day out. So the wise doctor tells you, you know what? Bring your mate. And feel free. Even if there are 5, Ewenam, don't worry. Dominic, Kweku, Mensa, Joe, and then maybe Same. Yes, Same. You bring all of them, and then the doctor will treat you all. The doctor is not there to judge you. He's just there to, my brother, my sister, we need to think about this. Those who think that they are okay by going to the private hospitals, this is the disaster that is looming. The same people who are not getting the best of treatment, they will come back and rope you back into trouble. Kennedy Agyapong says he is donating to all these people for this same reason, so that people can have good health care. He can afford to go to America for treatment. He can afford to go to the best hospitals for treatment. But 2 reasons. When you are healthy and the rest are not, you are going to suffer in the nation because a lot of work will not be done. You cannot do everything. You need other healthy people to help you. It's like we all are in this radio station called 3FM. 10 of us are here working. Because Blakk Rasta is rich, very, very rich, I can afford to go to the best hospital. My producer is very poor. He can't go to any hospital beside the government hospital. Ewenam, so poor. All of them poor. My brother, if I go and treat myself and come and sit here, would Ewenam be strong enough to sit behind the computer and do the work? Would my producer be strong enough to do his work? How about the other people left? They are weak and sick. At the end of the day, to have a toll on the work, and it will affect me. It's time to advocate. In fact, this is a human rights situation. It's not luxury. It's not a privilege. It's a human rights issue. And it has to be dealt with. When I go to America, see what happens. When people are sick and they go to the hospital, they don't ask them for anything. They just treat them. Whether they are illegal immigrants or not, that is not immigration. That is hospital. They treat you and let you go. They don't ask you for anything. And I've said that time and again on this show. My brother, my sister, that's what they do, because you have the right to health care. It's a human right issue. But in a country where you have to lie on the bare floor to take an injection, oh Lord, it is terrible. Thanks to Kennedy Agyapong, and thanks to all the other philanthropists who are doing their work. Please prioritize healthcare. Please prioritize healthcare in Ghana. Prioritize education. These are so key to everything we do here. There's a Latin saying I'll close with. Mens sano, corpore sano. They say a sound mind is in a sound body. Mens sano, corpore sano. A sound mind is in a sound body. My brother, if the two go hand in hand, if your body is not sound, how can your mind be sound? If your body is sick, you won't have a peace of mind, will you? And if you don't have a peace of mind, how can your body be sound? So you treat the two equally. Let your body be at rest, so your mind can also be at rest, and vice versa. I leave it here.
waleta matam sanga. Yabo!
Now, the next thing we want to look at is here, and it's taken from My Joy Online. BOG governor warns U.S.-Israel-Iran conflict could hit Ghana's liquidity, assures preparedness. And I read, it's interesting. Let's read this together. Now, the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson P. Asiama, has cautioned that the ongoing war in the Middle East could negatively affect Ghana's liquidity if the conflict continues. Now, speaking at an international conference organized by GEXIM to mark the bank's 10th anniversary, Dr. Asiama said while he hopes the hostilities will end soon, the central bank has put in place measures to mitigate any potential impact on the country's fiscal system. And I leave it here. My brother, this is the same thing we're talking about with the hospital beds and all that. All the long story we told you is about this same thing. No man is an island and no man lives alone or stands alone. My brother, my sister, this is what it is. There's an old African adage that I love. It says, and I quote, when your neighbor's beard is burning, get water ready for yours. Some people say, when your neighbor's house is on fire, please get water ready for yours. Because nobody is a prerequisite for disaster. Nobody, my brother, my sister, is unique to disaster. Nobody is the custodian of disaster. My brother, my sister, Bob Marley says, when it rains, it doesn't rain on one man's roof alone. It's a Jamaican adage. In fact, an African adage. What it means is that nobody is a reservoir of calamity. In other words, today, when somebody encounters a calamitous situation, don't think that it ends with the person. The next day must be you. You see some people struggling, and you think that they were just born to struggle. Is they are preserved? That's the word I was looking for. Nobody is a preserve for calamity. Calamity is not the preserve for any particular person. We all are surmountable to calamity. If you begin to understand this simple phenomenon, then my brother, you would be a peaceful person. Listen, I was shocked when some people said the COVID had affected some countries and they didn't see why people should be complaining that the COVID also affected them. Of course, some people made it their national anthem and got lazy, everything COVID. We understand that. But everybody was touched by COVID in one way or the other. The Ukraine-Russian war is the same thing. They might be far away, my brother, my sister, but in one way or the other, it touches us. Even small Ghana, when there's a conflict between Ghana and small Togo, America might think that is so much of a monster, so huge a beast, that it won't touch it. But it's a lie. It affects it in one way or the other. That's what is happening. Iran, Israel, and the US at war. This is in the Middle East. We are in Africa, not even Central Africa, Western Africa. But look, we are beginning to feel the pang of the war. Because we are all dependent on each other. Nobody is an island. Nobody stands alone. We all depend on countries for something that is unique to them. If America doesn't depend on Ghana for anything at all, at least our cocoa and our sweet yams, they love. They are always here for our gold. If they are not depending on Togo for anything at all, my brother, you look into it, there is something that is unique to Togo. Because of that, when any of these countries is in trouble or at war, it would affect the world in one way or the other. It hurts. You see how you are working hard. You are saving money for a rainy day. This is where the pain is. You save 20 Ghana cedis. Now, 20 Ghana cedis can buy you a car. As the war sets in, inflation sets in, hardship sets in, the 20 cedis is devalued. What it can buy now is a bicycle. Before the war, it could buy a car. You see how it has affected you? You would have to work harder. Look for jobs that are not even existent to be able to match up at least to reality. The vagaries of the weather. Again, my brother, my sister, this is even when the war is not so serious. In times of severe wars, famine could come in. People will get hungry. Food production almost comes to a halt. Money becomes useless. All the money you have worked for, the millions you have saved, they become toilet paper, like what happened in Zimbabwe. Are you ready for that situation? In that case, the poor man and the rich man become equal. All the money the rich man has is useless. That is why wise people normally do not keep money. You know what they keep? Property. Because the value of property will never fall. I'm talking about landed property. So when you load your bank account with money, be careful. Are you investing in something that is real and tangible? Then in times of these hardships, you might just be okay. But if you are the type that to load money in the bank account and come on social media and show off, your money would soon become toilet paper if there is a big war. Well, I'm glad that the BOG is saying that they're doing everything possible so that they can mitigate the problems of this war.